Should we pay a lesser commission for regular events under yearly agreements? What did I mean? Crab feed, casino nights.
You're basically talking old business versus new business.
Just, yeah, renewal. Every year it's the same thing. Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
What concerns me about this discussion is that what you may be creating in your mind is going to create a nightmare of administration.
Yeah, that's kind of the next, that's kind of the final thing.
You know, my feelings is that if you went with a scalable structure and took the $500 base off the table, you'd be in the same ballpark.
Can
Yes.
I'm kind of here right now, and let's get back to that. Okay, we answered that one. Okay, so I was thinking of 15, if we go with contractor, 15 to 20 commission seems more in line with practice. I like the feature that rewards over $15,000 night events at a higher commission rate.
But you have to have that in there. You have to have some sort of incentive to bring more stuff in. That's a given anywhere.
Okay, so since my mind wasn't exactly with you just then, can you say that again?
Well, you know, I think that if we start saying we're excluding this, we're excluding that, those aren't so hard. But then if you're talking about the repeats and reducing a commission rate on that, you know, you're going to end up with an administrative nightmare of paperwork both for Dawn and for myself relating to just carrying out the commission structure.
You know,
it's got to be
on that very
simple.
item, when we first started back in 2007, the commission structure was that kind of a nightmare. There were 3.5% up to 25%, I think, depending on what the thing was and if it was a renewal or if it was an ongoing activity or if it was a first time only. I mean, it was all over the board. It's trackable. It's absolutely trackable.
You're cutting your own throat. You're cutting your own throat.
Well, it's
the hours that are invested.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, definitely, but it was done and it can be done. But you could simplify this, Diane, by simply calling out the kinds of events that renewals, 0, activities, 0, and just be done with it. I mean, and renewals, you know, the variety show, I make good money off of that, and I do very little work. Take it back. Make it MRRPDs entirely.
Maybe you should just name events in that contract for the year.
You could.
Name those events.
Yeah. And another question, and this kind of has to do with how the board operates in terms of managing the district. If this position, you know, reported to the board, as it did, I think, or facilities committee, whatever, and operated independently as it was, it could be considered an exempt position, and we could salary it.
Yeah, you could salary it. It would probably be easier all around, and because I'm really concerned that you'll get trapped in an overtime issue.
Yeah.
Or, you know, over time, people begin to feel resentful for all the additional work that they have to do and not get paid for. It could go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, because of the unpredictability of the position, it's... Do you want this job to report to you?
It would depend. It would absolutely depend on your contract and your guidelines, I mean, your job description.
Are you salaried?
No. No one in this district is salaried.
Probably because of the variable hours of ours.
Well, that's the thing, is it isn't very viable. We don't have one full-time person, you know, and I wouldn't do this as a salaried person. I mean, because obviously the district couldn't possibly compensate me anywhere even 50% range of what a real salary would be. And because I'd end up, you know, I mean, you just couldn't. So why would someone do that? And I feel the same way about this position. The hours are too variable.
What would you suggest as as a contractor? I kind of did interrupt you. Sorry, but what would you see as compensation of the contractor?
Well, I think it's either or. As Dawn mentioned, you could either create your list of repeat events and zero out the commissions, or you could keep your base and not pay commission on base. What I'm trying to say is if you look at our overall revenue figure, you're not going to be that far off. What I'm trying to say, and I'll tell you honestly, after backing out the numbers and looking at them year after year, what brought up that auditor's comments and what tipped the scale of balance was the $500 base.
That's
And
half.
commission on it. All I'm trying to say is that was the tipping point, and that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales.
Did you get well, two things. One, I think that having a $500 a month, it's kind of like a retainer for...
Yeah, it's fine.
And that's
But
fine,
what I'm
but
saying
you
is-
got commission on it?
No, I didn't get commission on that.
What I'm saying is, Dawn gets commission from $1 to dollar whatever. Generally speaking, you have to make base before you get commission.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that
I got
first
it.
500 would be off the table.
Yeah.
That's all
That's
I'm
not a
saying.
bad way to go.
That's not a
I
bad
mean,
way to
It's
go.
really not. I mean, and it does give the position incentive to make sales.
Correct.
Yeah, incentive's
Yeah.
good.
Correct.
Absolutely.
In other words, you're
Okay.
justifying your
Okay.
existence
Sure.
for that $500 a month.
No, it's not a bad idea at all.
And it
Direction.
simplifies the matter as far as I'm
Work on
concerned.
It does.
Okay, so we want to, Steve and I just, we're thinking that probably the contractor position with these stipulations in it and keeping a base that's deducted from the amount, we think that's probably the way to go. It's probably best for the
For now.
district. For now, and we can
We can,
always review
No, I
after
think-
after
yeah, but
Creekside
I think
opens.
we're
What I'm
headed,
saying is we are a small, I mean, sometimes I think we overthink and
Yeah.
overcomplicate. We don't have
That's what I do. I
a
don't
huge
think-
amount of head step to
Can I
carry
ask you
out
a
this
question?
You
mission.
can.
Do you enjoy doing this and want to stay here?
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
And you want to stay here?
And it's easy for me because I've been doing it for 6.5 years and I live 2 minutes away. It's kind of ideal.
okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Let me write down what we just, okay, so we're going to exclude renewals.
Can I ask a question though, Diane?
Mhm.
Before we go any further? On this document, you had added in overhead expenses, and I'm not sure what
Well,
that is
what
about.
that is about is what I was bringing up to Mary. The whole consequence of all of the consideration that has been made, and this being the fourth meeting to discuss this contract, when, in other words, it's just an equity situation. If you look at this whole district and the ROI,
It's a lot of
Return on
work.
investment.
They really have fine
you know,
people now.
it's like, I can't believe that
Here's
this
boss to do
much
everything.
consideration is being addressed here when there's no such consideration being addressed to staff.
I think that this would have been a lot
that's all I'm
smoother
saying.
had it not been introduced the way that it was, and that 4 meetings would not have been necessary.
Can I stop you guys?
Yeah.
Because we got a lot to get
Yeah.
through, and I want to be sure I understand what we got. Okay. So as far as what's commissionable, we're excluding, staff and board and renewals.
Well, I don't think
And-
under the scenario we just mentioned, we're excluding renewals. I thought we were just excluding the weekly, monthly, the real no-brainer stuff.
That's fine too.
Yeah, we're talking
Okay.
about the,
In other words,
Yeah.
we're not,
Let's do that and then revisit.
Okay. And, excuse me. I like the idea of a retainer type thing, $500. But that would be deducted from revenue prior to determining
in
commission.
other words, commission is on 501(2) through, whatever.
Revenue. And
It's doable. It's gonna be
what
good.
about the 15 to 20 commission?
We're at 25 right now. If you take away the ongoings,
You'd better go to the 20.
I'd about to stay with the 25, but that's just me.
yeah, I understand.
But if you want to go to the 20 and we can revisit it,
Okay.
why don't we make the revisit like 90 days, just for fun, look at the numbers again?
Well,
20, 30.
if it were me, I would incentivize itemize and scale it as I had put forth to you. Do the 20 on the 501
Right.
to 1,500.
Right.
Hit 25 at 1,500 a month to whatever, because it's only going to benefit the district.
Or 30. A little more
So you're
significant.
saying
Well, what-
20
Well, where was
up
my
to-
normal? Let me give you just
Yeah,
a
one-
guideline of what I
Up to,
have
what was the
seen.
number?
Here, I can give you exacts. If you
20
just
or
give me a
25.
minute.
Oh, you have it here.
Oh, is
Okay.
that what this was? I didn't understand that.
Okay, here was
10%, okay, so we would be.
1,001 to 15 would be another scale. And then the 1,501 to 2,000 would be yet
I
another
thought you didn't
scale.
want to complicate it.
2,000, well, that's not complicated,
That's
that's
just
easy.
add,
It's
that's
still-
just add
it's still
incentives and all that.
administrative.
That's just-
No, no, but it's-
You
that's
make more.
Simple,
we make
simple,
more
simple.
there. I like that.
Because every month I have a transaction detail on facilities rental, I know what's booked in a month. So in other words, if you book 3,000 in one
Just say
month,
yes, quick.
in other words,
Yeah.
if
Okay.
Dawn
Got
books
it.
Okay,
books
got it.
3,000 in a month, give her the 30%. If she
Okay.
books 2,000 to 25, give her
I'm just
25%.
exhausted over this.
And if she
What do you
books,
think, Steve?
I like it.
Does that
I've
make
gone through
sense?
all this stuff.
Okay.
I see exactly
what I'm
what
saying
that.
is, it
We're
could be,
green, we're
We
green.
got it, we all got it.
All we're saying is
it's very equitable.
advantageous to the district,
Add
fair to her, and we solve all of the loose ends. All the loose ends are pulled together.
So you'll explain this to me, won't you?
I will,
Okay, so is this,
that's what we're
does that take care of it?
recommend? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I would like in the minutes that we revisit in 90 days,
Okay.
after we've had a couple of months
And
to
that
go through
would
the
be
numbers.
March, April, May, about June we revisit.
Well, wait, can we do February on the existing? Because I've already done the numbers.
Okay.
And the months on.
Okay, no, it is, okay.
So March, April, May, we revisit in June.
And yes, revisit
Just-
near the end of May, so
Yeah.
that we can reset for June,
Right.
if necessary.
That would be perfect, and then that gives us a outlook, because we'll be in budget, and for fiscal year starts in July, and we will have a little better picture of how bleak it is.
Don't say that.
You said it to me the other day, I'm just
No,
repeating
no,
it.
it's not undoable, but
I think it's fixable.
tight.
It's just,
And with
yes,
the Creekside issue, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
yeah, but it's just gonna be one more
Oh,
hurdle that we are going to overcome. How's that?
So, Mary, you want to get together then at a later point, and we'll
Yes.
go through the contract
Oh,
points?
drinks, yeah.
Yeah, lots. Okay, are we done with that item then?
We are.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't have, thank you, Don, for all of the work you did pulling this together.
Okay, so we're going into
We're going into something I don't have a copy of.
new business, employee compensation.
Oh, no, here it is, okay.
Is that what we're doing, employee compensation, new business?
Yes, employee compensation, new business. All right. So, also included in here, two things that we need to look at. Employee paid time off, and I looked at,
I thought that was only in full-time employees.
Permanent employees.
regular,
It's
no,
not
Regular, no.
Okay, I thought,
We don't
okay.
have any full-time employees.
That's what I was
Don't think we
saying.
ever have.
Yeah,
No, it was defined as regular permanent employees.
you can't use
Which
permanent
we have
anymore,
too.
regular. So any of this would be prorated. And these are just some of the norms in my experience, and also looking through survey data that Diane gave me. And currently, they have paid vacation, prorated for hours worked. And what I have seen in my experience, which I admit isn't all that recent because I've avoided corporations like the plague, but in year one, I mean, the idea behind year one at 5 days is that you want somebody to work 6 months and accrue time off before, you want them to be around before they take vacation.
well, yeah, like a lot of places don't give the medical benefits, they've got 6 months on the job.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's either way, 5 days, 10 days, but as in my day, basically you accrue vacation based on 10 days a year divided by 12, like 0.83 days.
Right.
Times 6 months, gets you 5 days. That's how we arrived at that. And then it is typical that after completing 5 years service that you increase to 15 days a month. I can't imagine anybody hanging around here more than 10 years, but 20 days, that's kind of the norm. And, and then as far as holidays, normally 10 fixed and 2 floaters. Of course, everything would be a floater for Park and Rec. But I wonder, you know, most holidays are Monday and Friday, and what if somebody doesn't work on Monday or Friday?
It doesn't matter, they're floaters. I mean, we, regardless of working on Mondays and Fridays, we have to work certain holidays, period. But generally speaking, it's just a matter of the hours. All the other districts, like I say, average were 12 per year, we get 4, that's it.
And then I looked back at minutes from a meeting that I attended back in April when Katrina was still here, and I guess this was discussed back then.
Yeah, it was.
And I didn't type up, I don't think.
Well, because
Did you have
before
any
we had none, we had 0 of anything.
I'm costing you money now, huh? Is that
No,
what you think?
I want to be fair.
Yeah, I wanna
And
be
that's all I want to be. I want to be fair, but I don't want to, you know, put us short in the district. But we have to be fair with labor laws, and employees have to be treated
Right,
right.
and they need
And-
rest.
Right, yeah, well, so I think whatever's right is what we should do. And if we should all agree that this is, you know, what's right for us, then we should go ahead with it.
Okay. And also the
That makes
sick
sense,
days,
Diane?
the theory is that you shouldn't be out more than 10 days sick.
We already have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're fine with
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And I wondered, short-term disability, I
We
don't
don't
think,
have that.
what about that?
We have nothing of that kind. We have SDI, you know, period. And we have our sick days. Leslie and I never, I mean, trust me, Leslie and I have so many accrued hours of sick time, it's not even funny. I mean, you never see us out, period.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, we have enough sick time to cover the however many weeks until our SDI kicks in. Short-term disability is not terribly doable in this district. I mean, I understand that. I've always had really ridiculously benefited environments, so I've always had short-term, long-term, you know, 20 days vacation, I've always had that.
But the way it would work is that they would turn in disability checks while we pay.
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with that.
So, do we want to even think about that right now, or
No.
should we?
I don't
Okay.
think we should. I don't think it's a big issue.
No, I think that maybe
Okay.
later on we could readdress it, but not.
Okay.
The only thing is on that factor, you know, sick leave and, see, floats, and I've really been clear with Leslie about this, it's use it or lose it, you know,
Yeah, you
every
can do
year.
that
Oh,
on
yeah.
holidays, you can't do
Right.
that on vacation.
Right, exactly. So I
And
always
6 days.
told her, use your floats first. Sick, the only thing is we should have, I mean, Leslie and I don't use a minuscule amount of sick leave. And, you know, like you say, as far as the short-term disability situation, if we're basically not considering that, which I don't think we should, I don't think we should cap sick leave. Or have an extraordinarily high cap. You know, in other words, just to make sure, say Leslie got hurt and was out for a month. What I'm trying to say is she'd be covered and for sure until her SDI, and as long as you didn't cap her at, you know,
But my question is, then when they leave employment,
10 days
you have
a
to, you
year.
have to buy the sick leave back
No,
when they
well,
leave?
no, what you do,
No,
no,
only
you do-
vacation.
No, you do not, but,
Okay.
but you could book. What I always do is, and a lot of companies don't or forget to do, I've run into this situation a lot, which cracks me up, because when you go to lay off people, if you don't have the money to pay them out,
Yeah.
you're in trouble. You have to book your payroll liability as far as those hours